What's going on, everybody? I'm just chilling today, man. I wanted to talk some basketball. I ain't talked basketball in a minute. Cause I just be talking about normal life stuff, but I like basketball. So I wanted to speak on the recent free agency signings as of late. I know that DeAndre Ayton signed with the Lakers. I know that a couple things have been going on with the Pistons and my Pistons, baby. We made the playoffs. We got knocked out by the Knicks. It's all right though. Malik Beasley, I don't know what's going on with you, brother. You cheating on games and shit. We had to sign Karis LeVert, Gerald LeVert, nephew or whatever from the OJs, but we had to sign him to replace you, which was unfortunate. I like Malik Beasley a lot more than Karis LeVert personally, and nothing against him. He's a Michigan guy, but yeah, man. I just wanted to speak about the Lakers and this current state of basketball. I just feel like they could do something now. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that they don't have potential. I mean, when you got Luka Doncic, you got old-ass LeBron, and then you got DeAndre Ayton, you got Austin Reeves, you got Hachimura. Like, that's a damn good squad. That's a damn good squad. I say trade LeBron, honestly, though. On some real shit. Because I used to do this shit in 2K. I don't know if I want to walk too close to the street because y'all might hear all the cars and stuff. But I used to do this in 2K, bro. When you're in 2K and you have an old-ass dude, 39, 40, 38, trade the motherfucker. Trade him. Just get something back for him because he's literally going to retire. Like, I know this is LeBron James, but you got to think about it from an organizational standpoint. He's not going to give you anything after he retires, obviously. So what you ought to do is trade him right now while he's still really fudging good, while he's still good, and get you some assets back for him. It don't even really matter what it is. Because he ain't the LeBron of old. Like, he ain't 2013 Bron, but honestly, he can still get you some really good stuff back. We know this. He could go back to Cleveland, get Jared Allen from him, get Max Strus or something, get one of those guys, and then I think I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go back that way actually, but get one of them guys, bro, and then work from there. Cause you ain't gonna win a damn championship with a 40-year-old LeBron in the playoffs. Like, let's just be honest about that. We saw his performance against the Timberwolves. He was kind of lackluster, if I'm being honest. I'm not gonna trash a 40-year-old, but he doesn't give the same effort that he used to, obviously, because he has to conserve energy and stuff. So it's gonna be very hard to win with somebody like that, even though he brings excellent skill sets to the table and unparalleled, invaluable wisdom and experience when it comes to the game of basketball. I don't even know if he's relaying that stuff to the younger guys anyway, but I think that you ought to trade Bron, send him to Cleveland, send him to Detroit even. We'll take him. Shit. We'll take him. Man, send Bron to the 313. Send Bron here, man. Shit. My nigga Bron. I want Bron here, bro. I had some of that Bron Hennessy the other day. Had that Bron in my body, bro. I was feeling crazy, bro. I just play it. I don't drink. But, so yeah, I think they should trade LeBron. This loud-ass freeway. Well, yeah. The Phoenix Suns, they traded Kevin Durant. Good riddance. Good riddance. They should have been trading his ass. They should have never traded for him in the first place. They should have never traded for Bradley Beal either. Bradley Beal signed with the Clippers and shit. That's cool. That's cool. They ain't gonna do shit though. They ain't gonna do shit. But it's cool. Fighting for the play-in tournament, that's cool. It shows, but fighting for a play-in tournament is the worst that you can get. You don't want to be fighting for a play-in tournament unless you're a young team emerging out of a rebuild and ascending out of a rebuild, right? if you're a veteran team with 35, 36, 37-year-old dudes, you don't want to be fighting for a play-in tournament. You better be in the top 3 seed. You better be a strong, legitimate championship contender with them old-ass people on your team. Because that's the only place that they are useful in. So the Clippers, I don't see them doing shit. They had a decent little run last year. They damn near beat the Nuggets, but they didn't beat the Nuggets. They got sent home. So that's it. Kawhi Leonard is Kawhi Leonard's Kawhi Leonard. He don't be playing. James Harden is James Harden. I love James Harden, but he don't show up in the playoffs anymore. He said, fuck that. He said, fuck the playoffs. He really just won his offseason. Here, James Harden just want to be in the offseason, bro. He don't want to go far in the playoffs. He don't want to play until June. Fuck that. He trying to go on vacation. He want to go to Cancun, not June. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to go there soon. And then go and pop the balloon. You feel me? James Harden does not want to be in a deep postseason run. Clearly. So there's that. And then Minnesota, I thought they were going to get Kevin Durant. They didn't. They shipped him off to Houston. Now, here's my hot take. I actually don't know if Kevin Durant in Houston is going to be all that special. And I know he has a long track record of being one of the greatest scorers of all time. But I don't know. Whenever you change teams and stuff like this, and you're expected to do a lot, because they're still going to be expecting him to carry the lion's share of the offense. The bulk and the majority of the offense is going to be on Kevin Durant's shoulders as a 35, 36-year-old man. 7 feet, lower body injuries. He's not a very heavy guy, but he still has lower body injuries and he still has injuries. So depending on him to be your number 1 primary scorer without having secondary scorers, you don't have Jalen Green anymore. You don't have Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks will give you 18 a night. Jalen Green give you 18, 19 a night. You don't got them guys anymore. Jalen Green would be very nice alongside someone like Kevin Durant, so he can just catch and shoot and not try to create his own shot all the damn time and be inefficient, shot chucking shit. Well, you don't got them guys anymore. So you got Kevin Durant as the number 1, and then you got Van Vliet as your number 2. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't know who they got as their number 2. Maybe Sengun. Sengun is cool. Sengun is cool. He got to show me a little more though. I'm not really sold on Sengun personally. Maybe that's a bias thing. Maybe it's just because I'm not a Rockets fan or whatever. I don't watch their games or anything, but I just don't see him being, I don't think that he's that crazy of a player. So, but you got him. Who else they got? They got Alvin Thompson. They traded Cam Whitmore. So I mean, it's a decent trade. It's a good trade. Obviously, you didn't have to give up Reed Shepherd or anything, which I thought Reed Shepherd would be a perfect player for Phoenix to snatch up in that trade, because he didn't even play last year. Reed Shepherd didn't even play a single game last year, and he was a top 3 pick. So in my mind, for a trade from Phoenix, I'm like, yo, they could snag him up. They could snag him. He clearly not in their plans and their rotation and shit. I think that they made that selection a little bit prematurely. I don't think that small guards are good in today's NBA anymore. I don't think that small guards should be selected that high in the draft. I don't give a fuck how good you are. I don't care how good you are, bro. A small guard shouldn't really be picked 3rd overall. Hell no, bro. Hell no. Because he has such size limitations. Even though he competes on defense and he's a good playmaker and all that, he ain't gonna have the best impact just because he's so small. He ain't big and muscular and shit. So you need size advantages, especially when it comes to the playoffs. And that's exactly why I talk about Chris Paul and I said he ain't never gonna win a championship. And he never did. Because you need size advantages. You need physical advantages when it comes to the playoffs. A lot of times certain certain schemes and certain avenues of scoring get taken away in the playoffs. And so you have to go back to the basics. You got to rely on boxing out, getting offensive rebounds, extra possessions. You got to focus on posting up, getting advantages, driving kicks. When you kick it out to somebody, when they have a defender running full speed at them, they can, a little hezzy, drive to the rim, lay up, or pull up midi or whatever. You need to be able to create advantages. So you need somebody to start the collapse of the defense so they can kick it out to somebody. That's an advantage. Or you need somebody that can post up. You need to generate rim pressure. So that's either driving or posting up. And them Clippers teams had none of that. Nobody could drive. Nobody could post up. Chris Paul, he could drive a little bit, but he's too fudging small. And he's not a scorer anyway. He's more of a passer. He never scored over 20 points a game, I believe. And Blake Griffin was not a post-up guy. DeAndre Jordan was definitely not a post-up guy. They're more lob threats. And so you need to generate rim pressure. So that's why those teams never won shit. And then Chris Paul on the Rockets, that could have worked. But they had some issues, whatever. Chris Paul got injured a lot. But anyways, the point is that you can't have small guards and really win in today's NBA. You need to be able to create mismatches and physical advantages. And when you're 6 foot against 6'8" dudes in the NBA, you don't have any physical advantage. You're at a large, humongous disadvantage. And so the rest of your team would have to be so good to overcompensate for your disadvantage, for your liability. Even though Chris Paul is a very good defender, but he's still a liability in that regard. Because he's not creating any rebounding advantages. He's not like he ain't gonna guard a LaMelo Ball or a Cade Cunningham, for example. You know, even because he's only 6 foot. He can guard other small guards like Darren Williams from his era. But if Chris Paul was in this era, he wouldn't be guarding guys like that. Ben Simmons in his prime, LaMelo Ball, like they're just too tall, bruh. So small guards are just not really it in today's NBA. So to pick Reed Sheppard third overall and then not even play him, it makes sense why you didn't play him because it's hard to play a guy like that. But it doesn't make sense why you drafted him that high. So I thought that Phoenix was going to snag him up, but they didn't. But, yeah, as far as my predictions and the standings and stuff like that, I'd say I think that OKC has a strong chance of running it back. I like what the Atlanta Hawks are doing. I feel skeptical a little bit about the Orlando Magic, but they seem like they're doing decent. I want my Pistons to do good, obviously. And, I mean, honestly, I don't really think anybody is a clear winner, like a clear step above everybody else. You know, OKC is really good, obviously, but they're going to have some problems. They're going to have some problems. They're going to have to let some guys go at some point. Maybe they can run it back this year, but after that, it's going to be rough for them. Indiana's out the picture. Milwaukee's out the picture. Even though Giannis is still there, Giannis needs to get his ass out. I can understand if he wants to retire a buck and just have the one ring. But if he wants more rings, then he's going to have to get out of Milwaukee straight up. Because this is his prime year of his career. This is one of the prime years of his career. When he's 60-something years old and he's looking back on the few years that he had at the peak of his powers, he's going to be very pissed that he spent it on a horrible team like this one. This team ain't got shit. Kyle Kuzma ain't shit anymore. Chris Middleton's gone. Brook Lopez is gone. Like, they ain't got shit, bruh. They need to trade Giannis. The organization needs to trade Giannis because they ain't going to win shit with him. He's severely handicapping your cap space flexibility, severely handicapping anything that you can do development-wise because you have to win now. Just trade him. The time has passed. You poorly manage your assets. You pushed all your chips to the table for the 2021 championship, and you got it. You got it. You got the ring. That's it. Trade him. Trade Giannis. Start over. That's how you have a continuous success in an organization. You need to trade Giannis for a boatload of assets, for just a ridiculous, uncanny amount of assets. And then you can start a good rebuild after that. You can't start a rebuild with just nothing. You don't have any draft picks. You don't have shit. So if Giannis just ups and leaves in free agency or something, then you would be cooked. So I say trade Giannis, even if he wants to stay or whatever. Just look forward. Just have some anticipation skills. Look forward. They ain't gonna win a championship. They ain't gonna do shit. They're literally just gonna be carried by Giannis, and they're not gonna do anything in the playoffs because one man can't win it all by himself. So you really need to just trade Giannis. Trade Embiid, trade Giannis. That's what I say. And this is from an organizational standpoint. I'm not even talking about from Giannis' standpoint. I don't know why Giannis wants to be there anyway. I can understand from a human aspect, wanting some continuity and stuff, but he ain't gonna win a ring. And it's better for the organization if they just trade him and move on instead of middling out with just Giannis and nobody else. So yeah. So that's it. And then D'Angelo Russell signed with the Mavericks. That's pretty interesting, kind of cool. I like that signing personally. I don't know why. I just kind of do. But yeah. Dennis Schroeder, where did he go? Kings or some shit? He left us. It's fine. A good riddance. But yeah, that's about it. Just wanted to talk some hoops. Comment down below what you think and what you want to see in the next video, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.